All right. I will do I do this particular video once, twice a year, depending on how frequently I get any new ones, like any of the retro ones. But time to show off my vintage, retro, and custom Star Wars figures. One of the retro figures I put with the Star Wars line that he came out with originally, but I cannot afford the original, so I got the retro, which was still cost me a little bit, but not as much as the original would. We're going to start off with the original Luke with his original yellow lightsaber. X-Wing Luke, I'm missing his gun, of course. A lot of these are missing their weapons. Some of them have their weapons. Some of them are in really great shape. Some of them are not. And some of them I played with so much, they're in pretty rough shape. Of course, we got Princess Leia. We got the original Han. This is the big head Han Solo. I do not have the small head one. Chewbacca. The original R2-D2. Really excellent shape. Didn't play with him as much because after I got him, ended up getting this one with the Droid Factory set. I don't know what happened to all the other droid sets, the other droid pieces to build the other droids from the droid set, but the best part was you could make any type of droid you could almost. C-3PO, and of course Obi-Wan Kenobi with the blue lightsaber. We got R5-D4, the Power Droid, the blue Snaggletooth. Now this figure was a mistake. He came in a Sears Roebuck set that from the Sears and Roebuck catalog called the Creature Cantina. Now man, you can't tell it too good on here because the paint's faded and I don't have very good lighting, but he's the rare one with the dent in the boot. And of course next to him is the Snaggletooth that was on the card, the way he was supposed to be. And then Hammerhead, yes, I got 3 different Hammerheads. You can't tell by looking at them, but each one of them are slightly different color. Next to him, I have the Sand People or Tusken Raiders. They were called Sand People on the original card. I do not have the hollow cheek one. And the 2 I have, as you can tell, they've been well played with. I believe Dusty from G.I. Joe whooped up on them quite a bit in my childhood. Greedo, of course, Walrus Man, and then the original Darth Vader. And Darth Vader's lightsaber was left out in the sun one day and it kind of faded. It's almost pinkish looking. The Jawa, I did not have the vinyl cape Jawa. I don't think I ever had him, which is a shame because he would have been a lot of, he's expensive. Stormtrooper, then the Death Squad Commander or Death Star Commander, they changed the name, but I got 2 of them. The Death Star droid, he's in a really rough shape. In fact, I think he's the worst shaped figure I have. The orange glow you see coming off of him is, I'm wearing an orange shirt and it's reflecting in his paint. Next to him is Boba Fett, which was the last one released on the Star Wars card before the Empire Strikes Back line. Now we get into the Empire Strikes Back line. You have Bespin Luke. Then you got Hoth Luke. As you can tell, my Hoth Luke is pretty banged up and dirty. He joined the G.I. Joe team on many snow adventures. Princess Leia and Princess Leia Hoth. Princess Leia Hoth oftentimes was used when I played with my G.I. Joe figures in the snow as Lady J or Scarlet, depending on which one I wanted her to be at the time. Next is the Bespin Han Solo. Next to him is the Hoth Han Solo. Next to him is R2-D2 with the pop-up scope. I got two of these. One of them, as you can tell, is banged up pretty much. One of these I got on the card. The other one actually came, I think, in the Dagobah playset. I think the one in better shape came with the Dagobah playset, and the other one came on the card. C-3PO with removable limbs. And then I got two different Landos, if I can get them to focus on their faces. One has teeth showing. The one that's in better shape doesn't have teeth showing. Next to him is Yoda. Yes, I'm missing all of his all the accessories that came with him. Next to Yoda is Rebel Commander. Fascinating thing is, Rebel Commander is actually the same guy that played Cliff on Cheers. Rebel Trooper, Lobot, and then next to him is the Cloud Car Pilot. And yes, as you can see, I got several Bespin security guards of the white one. The reason why I got so many of these is whenever we went to Refco, I think it was Refco, Refco's no longer exist, but used to be out in Virginia and out on the East Coast. I don't know if they were all of the United States or not, but they had a drugstore called Refco, and these were the only figures. These, the Ugnugs and the Imperial Commanders, were the only figures Star Wars figures they actually had. Even after they quit making Star Wars figures in '85, I still could find these guys on the Empire Strikes Back cards at Refco. In fact, when they had like the individual pictures before they had them all lined up on the back of the card as a checklist, some of these had that particular card backing. Of course, the black Bespin security guard, and then after him is the Ugnugs. I got a blue apron. Actually, I got two of them. One of them's torn real bad, and the purple one. I never did get the green or the red one. I heard there were green and red ones, but I've never seen them. And of course, I got one that his apron has been lost. Next to him is the FX7 medical droid. One of his arms will not stay closed. But the fact that he's got this little piece right here still is amazing, considering I've had that figure since 1980. B1 medical droid. Next to him and I'm drawing a blank right now. But it's one of the bounty hunters. I cannot remember his name right now. I'm drawing a blank. I knew that was going to happen with a few of these. Next to him is Bossk, Zackets, and Forlum. IG-88. Next to him is the Snow Trooper. Yes, I don't have the little vinyl cape that hangs off the back of from his hips, and I don't have the weapon, but the AT-AT driver, the TIE pilot. Now, the TIE pilot should have came with the other wave, but they didn't release him until Empire Strikes Back. And of course the Imperial commanders, then the AT-AT commander. Now we're going to move into the into Return of the Jedi line. And these figures are not, these are some of these are a little bit easier than others to find. First, it's Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight. Yes, he's got a blue lightsaber. Originally, he came with a blue lightsaber. Now, his gun and his robe came in multiple shades, different variations of the robe. Some of them snapped, some of them didn't. The guns were black, blue, gray, were the three different colors of the guns. So it was weird that they did that with that figure, but that's how it was. Now, I got him and the corrected one with the green lightsaber on the same day, which is the next one, the green one. Again, just like the blue one with the blue lightsaber, his robe, gun came in different shades or styles. Now, I don't know if you can tell, if I can focus, you can tell with the robes, one of them slightly darker than the other. Next to him is Princess Leia Endor. Now, I got her gun in her holster. I don't want to pick her up, but she does have her gun. It's in her holster. Next to her is Leia as Bachi, you know, the bounty hunter. Then Han Solo with poncho or with camouflage jacket. Next to him is Lando Calrissian in skiff guard disguise. Next to him is Admiral Akbar and Nimnub. Both of these guys were mail order figures. I got them as mail order figures. Then General Madine. Then Pruneface. Now Pruneface is an odd character because he's one of two figures that came with normal looking guns. But he can't hold his gun. You have to put his gun, he's basically having to hold the gun by its barrel in order to get it to fit in his hand, which is kind of weird. Next to him is the B-Wing pilot. And then the Endor Rebel Trooper. Next to him, we had the Ewoks, Chief Chirpa, Logray the Medicine Ewok, Wicket, and Tebow. Next to him is D9D9 or something like that, I think. I can't remember his name. And it's funny because I looked it up before starting filming and now I can't remember it. Then Jabba the Hutt and Skelesis Crumb. Technically, this doesn't count as an action figure. It counts as a play set. But I count them as figures. So then Bib Fortuna. Now there's a variant where he has a red robe. I have not seen one in person. I have seen pictures of it, but I have not seen one in person. Then Canuck, the Palace Canuck, and then Canuck Skiffguard. Fascinating thing is this Canuck right here, the Canuck Skiffguard, was actually played in the movie by Lando Calrissian actor Billy D. Williams' son, Ree-Eze. No, those are not Joey Behar figures. Those are the Gamorrean guards. I know they look a lot like Joey Behar. I know that's not Whoopi Goldberg next to her. That's Quigway. Next to him is Squidhead. I oftentimes wonder if Squidhead inspired the Ood from Doctor Who. Next to him is Canuck. Not Canuck. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. That's what happens when you get old. Next to him is Max Rebo. In the Max Rebo band, they also count as a play set. Of course, it's Max Rebo is the little elephant-looking dude. Sly Noodles, which technically is the second female figure they've done a female character they did a figure of. Droopy McCool. Next to him is the Rancor Keeper, the Emperor. That's what they called him at the time. At the time, he was not known as Emperor Palpatine. He was just known as the Emperor. The Imperial Royal Guard, which a lot of times, because this was the only, of course, he has a soft goods cape, and up underneath it is a soft goods tunic, which I really liked. And a lot of times what I would do is, because he was the only one I had, if I played with my Star Wars figures, I wanted to have the Emperor with more than one Royal Guard, I would use my Crimson Guards from G.I. Joe. The AT-AT Commander, Biker Scout, and then we get into the Power of the Force line. Now, the next few figures are the most expensive figures out of all of them. Next to him is Luke in Stormtrooper disguise. Luke, Poncho, I lost the Poncho in his gun. Han Solo Carbonite, I lost the Carbonite. R2-D2 with pop-up saber. General Lando Calrissian, I lost his cape and gun somewhere. The A-Wing pilot, I don't know why they made B-Wing pilot before they did the A-Wing. Now this is the one that came on the Power of the Force card because he's got the silver coin and not the gold coin. If he had the gold coin, it'd be even more expensive because he came on the droids line as well. Him and Boba Fett both were released on the droids cartoon card. Then we had the last few Ewoks. Let's see if I can get them right. Pablo, Rumba, Warwick, Lumont, and then Ottoman, Bardra. Now, Bardra was actually the last one. Now, Anakin was a mail order, and he's the cheapest one of the Power of the Force line. Bardra was the last one I bought myself from the Power of the Force line. The rest of them I found at yard sales. Well, Han, no, the rest of them were given to me as gifts from various people. I think Santa Claus might have bought one or two of them to me. Of course, next to him is EV9D9. And after EV9D9 is the Imperial Gunner. And next to the Imperial Gunner is the Imperial Dignitary, which I don't know why they made this character. He looks like a walking corpse. I call him the Purple Pope because he's got that Pope hat. And next to him is the first of my retro figures. It's the only retro figure I don't have with the retros because he was originally released as a Power of the Force figure. Like I said, I could not afford the original Yak Face. Could not afford the original Power of the Force figure, but I got the retro one to fill in that spot. The next wave they did was the Ewoks animated series. There was Wicket, Logray the Medicine Man, and he's got the gold coin. He's complete with the gold coin. King Grinch of the Dulocs, Lady Grinch of the Dulocs, Duloc Scout, Duloc Shaman, then the droids. Now, the droids line, I'm missing Kendra Mole. I'm missing C-3PO, which was basically a repaint of C-3PO with removable limbs. I'm missing R2-D2, which is also a repaint of R2-D2 with pop-up saber. Jordan Doucette. No, that's Thal Jobin. Jordan Doucette. Jan Tosh. Uncle Grady. Now you're saying, why do those two Uncle Grady's look so different? One's American and one's European, I believe, is what I was told. Next to him is Kezaban. Now we get into the retro wave of figures. Luke Skywalker from the end of Return of the original Star Wars movie, which we now know as New Hope, but back then it was just Star Wars. The ceremony where he and Han got the medals. Next to him is Snowspeeder Luke from Empire Strikes Back. Next to him is Han Solo in Stormtrooper disguise. Next to him is Mon Mothma, which she's one of the newer figures in the collection. She's one of two new retros. Next to her is Rebel Trooper, which I do not think I had him when I did my last video. I may have, I can't remember. But I got him now. Dr. Evazan, I think is how you pronounce his name, which I liked the character in the movie because he and Walrus-Man go together. I liked it because he was like, I have death sentence in 12 systems. And I do believe if they would have continued making the figures, these would have came out on as part of the retro wave. Well, the retro wave, but I believe they would have came out in the original wave. I know Momoa, Han Solo, and Grand Moff Tarkin were all on the list to be coming out in the next wave, but they canceled it before they could do them. Of course, this is a Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan series. They did the Obi-Wan Kenobi series in retro form, and this was the Darth Vader. I thought this Darth Vader would have been a very good, I mean that very good, would have been what they would have done if they had revamped Darth Vader. Instead of giving him a slide out lightsaber, if they would have given him one that he could hold in his hand, I do believe this would have been the next evolution. He's got a soft goods cape instead of a vinyl cape. Next is Grand Moff Tarkin. Next to Grand Moff Tarkin is a custom figure from Stan Solo. And it's Ugla, the green-skinned slave girl from Jabba's palace, the one that was eaten by the Rancor. Next to her is from the Next 17, which is a custom person online that does Star Wars customs. That's Uncle Lars, Uncle Owen Lars. Next to him is a custom, I cannot remember the name of the customizer, custom figure of Wedge Antilles. His helmet comes off. The problem is he comes off the neck peg, that his head comes off the neck peg whenever I take the helmet off. So I would have to hold his head on with my thumb and take the helmet off. And next to him is, I don't know the name of the droid, but it's the blue droid. I don't remember what scene he was in, but I got him, I saw him. He's done by the same customizer that does Wedge. And I thought it would be nice to have another R2D2 or another R2 unit. The next couple of figures are from more modern day series. And I'm going to have to look their names up. So if you excuse me for a few minutes. From The Mandalorian, Cara Dune. Now, I got this Cara Dune retro figure, one, because it's a retro figure, and two, because the actress who played her got fired and was during the time where they were canceling people. So I got it in protest. Next to her is Asana Toka, who I believe was Anakin's Padawan. Next to her is General oh, not General, Griffin Carago. I may be pronouncing it wrong. I might be butchering it. Next to him is another female, Bocan Kenzin. I know I'm probably butchering it. Next to her is Moff Gillian. Next to him is the fifth brother. Next to him is Raylan, known as the third sister. And last but not least, the Grand Inquisitor. Now I know I butchered some of these names. I can't remember some of the characters' names. I'm sorry. I know y'all gonna give me a hard time in the comments probably. But like I said, some of these figures I've had for almost 50 years. And when you got an extensive collection like I do, it's hard to remember all the names. I'm not making excuses. But that's my Star Wars original, retro, and custom figures. I do have a Mace Windu retro figure coming soon, but he'll probably be when I do my video next year, and I will try and get some retros throughout the year to add so you'll have more to look at. But right now, that's it for right now. As always, be good to each other. And remember, something's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. Some of these might book for a lot, but they're only worth that if somebody's willing to pay for them. Talk to you later.